Hello, my name is Nyla Mowry. My pronouns are she and her. I am the current ISCA Board Elementary Vice President. I wanted to start by telling you a little bit about myself and then provide some information that is helpful to all elementary school counselors. I grew up mostly in Sheraton, Iowa and graduated in the year 2000. I went to the University of Iowa for undergraduate with a focus in early childhood and social studies education. I graduated from Iowa in 2005 and began teaching preschool in Cedar Rapids. In 2007, I moved to the Des Moines area and continued to teach preschool for a couple more years. I transitioned to upper elementary for 3 years while completing my graduate program, and I graduated from Drake's school counseling program in 2013 and began as an elementary school counselor in Des Moines Public Schools in August of that year. I've been in my current position at Studebaker Elementary since the fall of 2018. I am blessed to have a co-counselor at Studebaker, so my current caseload is roughly 250 students in 3rd through 5th grades. As a member of the Iowa School Counseling Association, it's good to keep in mind the mission and vision of ISCA. The ISCA mission is to effectively provide advocacy for and support to Iowa school counselors as they implement comprehensive school counseling programs in line with the ISCA national model. The vision of ISCA is written on the screen and is an incredible vision for the future of Iowa school counseling. There are 3 things that I'll be sharing in this video: recommended roles for elementary school counselors, recommended resources, and some advice for beginning school counselors. As an elementary school counselor, you have a specific set of skills to assist other educators in understanding social-emotional development in children, as well as assist children with developing learning strategies, self-management, and social skills. Elementary school counselors should not work in isolation, but become a critical part of school teams to help advocate for their students' needs for success. It is important for elementary school counselors to use data-informed decision-making to identify the greatest areas of need in their school. Using that data, school counselors can collaborate with stakeholders to deliver a comprehensive school counseling program that not only addresses those areas of need, but also includes proactive programming to support all students' academic, career, and social-emotional development. The American School Counseling Association, or ASCA, has many resources available that will help school counselors advocate for appropriate roles and duties within their schools. A minimum of 80% of a school counselor's time should be spent in direct or indirect services in the categories listed here. The ISCA National Model publication has more detailed information on these services. One element that is unique for elementary school counselors is the expectation for direct instruction to students through whole group lessons. Previously, these lessons were often called guidance, but our profession has grown and changed over the years, and so has the vocabulary. Now referred to as core counseling or whole group counseling, standards-driven lessons should be offered to every student regularly throughout the school year. This looks different for every building and can range anywhere from once a week to once a term, depending on the needs of your building. If your building still uses the term guidance, please advocate for change using resources from ASCA and ISCA that can help guide the conversation. There are many other terms you can use, such as the ones mentioned here. Now I'd like to share some specific resources that are helpful to elementary school counselors. The first resource is the most important tool for all school counselors, the ISCA National Model, now in its 4th edition. These resources provide the framework for school counselors to create a comprehensive school counseling program that helps improve student success. Along with the ISCA National Model, there are other ISCA publications that will help dive deeper into the model. The publications that I have used and recommend are the ISCA National Model Implementation Guide and Making MTSS Work. Both resources are helpful in bringing your school counseling program to the next level. Knowing that there will be an expectation for direct instruction through core counseling lessons, many elementary school counselors look for help in finding a curriculum or resources that meet the needs for their students. There are a lot of SEL curriculums out there, and it can be overwhelming if you're tasked with deciding which program is best for your school. There is a program guide put out by CASEL that can help your team make an informed decision of which curriculum is a better fit for you. The program guide can be found at pg.casel.org. Another important resource for Iowa school counselors is the Iowa Department of Ed's Social Emotional Learning Competencies that can be found on the Iowa DOE website. You can find these by searching the phrase IASEL competencies. These competencies are aligned with CASEL standards and should be used in conjunction with the ISCA Mindsets and Behavior Standards to determine what objectives for your lessons should be covered. There's also an amazing resource available on ISCA and ISCA's websites, including webinars and professional development specific to school counselors. On ISCA's website, there's an evaluation supplement that will help school counselors and administrators better evaluate the role of a school counselor as it applies to the Iowa teaching standards. There are also many websites and groups on social media that are worth checking out. I highly suggest the Elementary School Counseling Exchange group on Facebook, as there are a lot of great resources and a great place for advice. Finally, I would like to end with some advice specific to beginning school counselors. If you are in your first few years in this profession, you might have a lot of questions and not a lot of support in your district or area. First and foremost, you are not alone. Even as a counselor in a large district, I felt very lost my first couple of years. The best resource for a beginning counselor is to find a well-seasoned counselor who you can lean on for advice, support, and resources. If you're a single elementary counselor in your district, this might feel impossible. I believe that is why this position on the ISCA board exists. As the elementary vice president, my proverbial door is always open. The best way to reach me is through email at nyla.mowry@dmschools.org. If you feel the need to discuss the situation over the phone, sending an email first will help find a good time to talk. I might not be able to answer all your questions, but I can help find resources, troubleshoot tricky situations, or be a listening ear when you need a safe space to process. The best piece of advice that I have for beginning elementary counselors is to create staff and administrative buy-in into your program. Sending a survey at the beginning of the year to assess the staff's perception of school counseling and the needs of the students is a great place to start. Advocating for appropriate duties and showing your effectiveness through sharing data with all stakeholders will increase understanding of the role of a school counselor. As an elementary school counselor, having your staff and administration on board will greatly improve the overall effectiveness of your entire program. I hope that this video provided some better understanding of elementary school counseling in Iowa, as well as provided some resources to help your program. As I mentioned before, feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns. My contact information is on the screen, as well as the contact information for ISCA. I also encourage you to stay in touch with other members of ISCA through Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for your time.